are lying down, enjoying that sensation for the first time, maybe today, that you get to just take a big exhale. See if you can let your whole body exhale. Allow your eyes to soften. Your shoulders get to relax. Hands and feet, fingers and toes. This is one of my favorite quotes from Anne Lamott. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So we're here to unplug, to unrush. Notice how your body is breathing through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. You may feel the breath entering and leaving the nostrils. You might notice some gentle movement in the belly, in your rib cage. If you would like, you can take one hand heart, one hand belly. So you're noticing those areas with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, maybe belly and chest rise and fall. It's not huge. And then what I like to add also is imagine that you have another set of hands, one on your low back, pardon me, excuse me, one on your low back and one on your upper back. And you can breathe into all the hands, just making space. Belly, low back, chest, and upper back. Notice if your mind wandered and come right back, breathing in, breathing out. Stay exactly as you are or deep in the breath. Allow for a full inhale and exhale, not forcing it, but just letting it be a little bit bigger if that feels okay. Allow your breath to return to its own natural rhythm. Let both hands come to touch at your heart center. Send something good out from your heart out to a person, a place, anything living or beyond that you would like to send a blessing out to. And release your hands and draw your knees in toward your chest. If you're on your bed, you can just notice how it feels compared to the mat because we do a lot of the same movements, but now we're on a little bit of squishiness. You can be still, or you might like to gently rock. Remember, if you hold your arms a certain way, you can rock until you kind of run into the upper arm. That will stop you from tipping over. But if that's too big, then do less, please. And we'll come back to center, one hand on each knee. You can inhale, draw the knees in toward you, and then exhale, let the legs go away a little bit. Inhale in and exhale out. It's a small movement. Your arms will decide how far the distance is. Inhale in, exhale out. A couple more times like this. And remember, you can always stretch out and rest with awareness on your breath. That is the practice. The shapes are fun, but they're not the only part. And you'll bring the legs together and make some circles, letting the legs go around any size circle. Switch direction. Release. Let the legs stretch out, or if it feels more comfortable to keep them bent, do that. You can just take the shape of Shavasana. We'll scrunch the toes and the fingers and then spread them out. Scrunching and spreading out. Last time, scrunching and spreading out, and then let them relax. And we'll turn the head, gently rolling the head any amount, left and right, tiniest little amount. And if that does not feel good, you can use the intention or visualize the neck relaxing and feeling good. Come back to center. We'll bend the knees and hug your right leg in. You can hold the shin or the thigh. And keep the left leg bent for now. We'll do the other option later, and feel free at any point to switch your hands. You can hold behind the thigh if you'd like. From here, slide your right leg on top of the left for thread the needle, and we'll take this lower variation with the foot connected to your mat or to your bed. Remember, you're allowed movement. You don't have to be still. You can see what it feels like to take this thread the needle shape with a little shifting. And find stillness and take 3 more breaths here. You can sigh it out on your exhales if you'd like. Take the legs out again toward Shavasana shape and just notice any sensations or feelings in the left leg versus the right. Bend your knees and we'll take the other side. Left leg hugging in, holding the shin or the thigh. From here, the left leg goes on top of the right for thread the needle. We'll take this lower variation again, maybe allowing the legs to shift a little bit side to side, or you can be perfectly still. Invite a few deep breaths in and maybe open your mouth for your exhales. Release and slide the legs back out. Just noticing, taking a few breaths here. We'll start with arms by your sides now. We're going to work on the shoulders a little bit. It's called IYT, and you'll understand that in just a moment. Your legs can stay long or you can bend them. You might even like tripod, like feet wide, knees together. Just let the legs be comfortable. And we'll start with just the right arm first, and it goes up and over. That's kind of the I shape, just that straight line. And then you bring the arm back down. And then the same arm goes out into kind of a Y shape. And come back down by your hip. And then out into a T. And back down. And then we'll switch arms. We go to the I, arm up and over. And back down by your side. Don't forget to breathe. Left arm or other arm out in the Y shape. And back. And then out into a T. And back. And now we'll take both arms at the same time, reaching up and over, coming back to the hips, and both arms creating a Y shape, and back to the hips, and then out into a T. Back to the hips. Just one arm. We're going to do that a couple more times. One arm first. We do I, and then Y, and then T. And then the other arm. Allow this to feel good in the shoulder joint. I and a Y and a T. And then we'll do both arms at the same time. I and Y. I don't know who came up with the name. Doesn't matter. And then the last time we'll do each arm, single arm first. All three shapes. You might even notice a difference from one arm to the next. Switching to the second arm, not rushing. If I went too fast, please finish yours. And then the last time, both arms reaching up and over and back down, then out into the Y, back down, and out into a T. And let's pause there. Arms in a T, legs however you like. A few breaths right here. You may stay where you are, or if you'd like, you can switch and come into starfish. Long legs and arms kind of back in that Y position. Breathing into the whole body, front, sides, and back. And bring your arms back down. Bend your knees. And we take right leg on top for thread the needle. Now this time, if you want, you can hug the legs in. You could even use, I'm going to grab a couple of my pillows. You could even elevate the legs by cushioning your foot. So any variation, right leg on top, thread the needle. Arms can be anywhere. And just keep noticing your breath. Notice the sensation of the outer hip, the buttock, where you might feel the stretch. And maybe you don't feel a stretch, and that's just dandy. Totally fine as well. You're just taking a different shape. Three more breaths on this side. When you're ready, switching sides. You can scoot your pillows over if you're using those. Left leg on top, supporting the right leg or having the right leg down or holding the legs in with your arms. All good choices. Three more breaths on this side. Make them as full as you'd like. You can sigh out your exhales if you'd like. Releasing this side. And you might have a pillow on each side. It's a little bit for the future, not too far in the future, but you can have them handy, one on each side. We're hugging in the right leg again. And this time, if you'd like, you can slide your left leg all the way out. Let it rest or have it active. You can flex the ankle. But if it feels nice just to let the left leg feel like Shavasana, do that. Even though we are on this even foundation, the mat or the bed, just stretching the leg out like that sometimes can feel like a stretch on the hip flexors because we do quite a bit of sitting. Oh, excuse me. Been so extra tired. Don't know, this little cold that's hanging on. All right, from here now, the right foot will come down and you will straighten the left leg. We're coming into tree pose. The right leg can go out onto your cushion, or you can let it come all the way down, whatever feels good, kind of like that support. Sole of the right foot might be touching your inner left leg. And now it might be nice to flex the left ankle and feel the action of the left leg as if you were standing, balancing in tree pose. You can bring your hands to your heart. And feeling this nice balance without having to stand. And if you want, grow your branches, reaching your arms any way, right? Branches can be any way that you want them to be. Full breath in and out. We have a couple more breaths in our tree pose. Hands come back to your heart. Grateful for the trees. And you might like to use your hand or hands to bring the right leg up. And we'll switch sides now. First, the hugging in your left leg. Right leg can straighten out if you want, Shavasana or active. But you know now in the future you'll have an opportunity for tree with an active leg. So for now, just hug in, left leg. Maybe feel a stretch across the front of the hip and thigh on the right side. Releasing the left leg and coming into tree pose, supporting the left leg, or you don't have to have the pillow there, but it may feel, ooh, for me that feels a little bit much today. So support the left leg, sole of the left foot touching the inner thigh of the right leg. And you can flex your right ankle, making this standing leg strong and steady. Hands come to your heart, focusing on your breath. and maybe growing branches. Any style. Maybe your branches are dancing a little in the wind. Couple more breaths here, embodying the tree. Hands back to your heart. Drawing the left leg up. Hug both knees in, creating an upside down child's pose, or you may like to come into resting bug, letting your arms and your legs float up, and you can move them in any way. It can be kind of floating. You might want to circle ankles and wrists. And feel the support beneath you, your foundation, the mat, your bed. Releasing. And let's roll onto one side, fetal pose. You can bring your cushions supporting the legs, supporting your head and your neck. Making yourself really comfortable. We're only doing one tiny little thing here, and then the goal is rest. So we'll bring the top fingertips to the shoulder, and we'll make a few circles in each direction. It can be a little twisty if you like. You can turn the chest toward the ceiling. Otherwise, just stay on your side. When you're ready, you'll switch direction. Let the arm rest on your side or in front of your body. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Remembering earlier when we were breathing into the low back and the upper back, now you have a lot of space behind that, those areas. So let the breath expand, low back, upper back, and just let your body be here, fetal pose. We'll be here for about another minute. Keep focusing on the breath. When you're ready, we'll make a stop on our backs in starfish before we switch sides. So rolling onto your back, stretching out through your arms and your legs. And now focusing more on belly and chest, rising and falling with your breath. At the bottom of your next exhale, bending your knees and rolling to your second side, fetal pose, setting yourself up. Do the cushion between the legs and under the head. Give yourself all the support you need. And then just a few circles, the fingertips to the shoulder. Maybe adding that tiny twist, thoracic spine. And switching direction. And letting your arm come to rest. Let your body take in this rest. Unplugging. Noticing again the back body, low back, upper back. Breath in, breath out. You have a couple of choices here. If you would like, you can just roll onto your back, hug your knees in, and then unfold into Shavasana. You are on your side body, so if you'd like, you could press yourself up and situate yourself with legs up the bed or legs up the wall, if that sounds restful. Sometimes, it does take a little more effort to have your legs up, but it also can be very soothing. Pardon me. So, choosing a place for rest. Covering up if you'd like. This is kind of the ultimate unplugging. So you might visualize yourself walking up to a wall, seeing a plug, and taking it out, putting it down. Resting, resting, resting. And bring your awareness back to your breath, noticing chest, belly, low back, and upper back. Each breath an opportunity to fill up, inhale, and each exhale an opportunity to unplug, let go, surrender. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Thank you, Anne Lamott. Wiggle fingers and toes. You can reach your arms up and overhead, stretching through your whole body. If your legs are up the wall, you can just let your knees bend, and we'll all meet on your side back into fetal pose. This time as a transition from Shavasana to the rest of your evening, so the pose of new beginnings. You might set an intention for your evening to just allow whatever it is that you need. Maybe a cup of tea, maybe some more legs up the wall, maybe a movie, whatever it is. And you'll bring yourself up to sit. Let your hands come to touch. And we can bring the hands to the forehead. May you share good thoughts with yourself and with others. And hands to the mouth. May you share good words with yourself and with others. And hands to heart. May you share good love with yourself and with others. Thank you so much for being here, for practicing.